This is a fantastic UK manufacturing success story. We're at Evotech Performance. So if you've got a motorbike or no motorbikes, you will know the name. If you don't, very quickly, tell me a little bit about the company.
Well, here at Evotech Performance, we design, manufacture and retail aftermarket motorcycle parts. The company started many years ago, reverse engineering parts for vintage bikes, and slowly we progressed through different stages of sheet metal engineering until what you can see behind me, where we've actually grew into making parts for performance motorcycles.
Okay. And that's for people, the professionals as well as the day-to-day users?
Oh yeah, we have many race teams we supply parts to because it helps them to be able to continue on their races without damages to the bikes.
Okay. And fantastic machine shop. You know, you're making hundreds of thousands of parts a year. How do you control all that and look after it all?
There's only one way to control that, and that is by use of an ERP software called MIE Trak.
Seems opportune time to go and have a word with Tom. With MIE software, I'm thinking it is for subcontract engineers. It's slightly different here though, because I suppose ultimately they're their own customer because they're producing stock for sale by their e-commerce system. So how are you providing a solution for these guys?
So as you say, maybe a little bit different. We are fairly renowned for working with a lot of subcontractors, but the idea of coming to Evotec today was to showcase a system being used in a more product-driven environment. The idea of our complete MRP ERP package is that it is there and designed to manage everything from initial inquiry all the way through to when the parts are eventually shipped and invoiced at the end of the process. Now, one of the main differences we do offer, as I touched upon, is that we do supply it as a complete package, so it's not sold in individual modular format. In essence, we supply the entire package, but then it really is up to each customer as to how much or how little of it they then wish to utilise.
Okay, so then if you've got that whole package, that could be filtering information into sections you're not using, but later on you could start using those and it's all already built in and such.
That's it, exactly that. So as you say, a lot of customers initially probably wouldn't use everything that the system actually has to offer, but when they do get to that stage that they decide to start exploring more advanced features within MIE Trak, it's not like they then got to go and buy it. They already own it at that point. So to a degree, it is very much a case of simply turning that module on.
Make it sound nice and easy. I think what we need to do though is find out how they're actually using it here. What were you doing before you had MIE Trak Pro?
For MIE Trak Pro, we were filling in books with jobs and writing out timesheets and filling everything out manually and some spreadsheets on a computer.
Sounds absolutely horrendous. And since that time, because you've had it about 20 years?
Yeah, 20 years now.
But massive amount of products, you know, hundreds of thousands per year. Controlling that must be a logistical nightmare.
Well, the thing with MIE Trak Pro is it brings all of it together into one place, and it makes it very easy from quoting level all through production to the end product to putting it on stock, and it just makes everything so easy to work with and to understand where everything is that we don't need to worry about it.
Okay, a few questions then. What about, you know, is there a lot of manual input and working with the system, spending hours doing that sort of thing?
There isn't much manual input. In the beginning you have to start with some data, but once you've got that inputted, then it just takes care of itself.
So get it right first time and then the whole thing just flows through intuitively.
Exactly.
Now, again, looking around, hundreds of thousands of products, what about stock control, bar, etc., and sheet metal?
It takes care of all of that, and it takes care of all the requirements for any singular part that is required to make that job.
Okay, now your components, you know, you might have an indicator housing, for example, but there's a lot of assembly, you know, there's sheet metal, fabrication, milling, turning, all coming together. Does software manage that as well?
It manages it all. It doesn't have to worry about the sub-assembly parts because everything is on the router cards to be able to go through each operation and get the final result, which at the end of the day is a completed product.
So your guys will get a works order and they'll just go through that nice and simple, clocking in, clocking out?
Exactly that.
Okay. What about then, you know, again, I go back to hundreds of thousands of parts, you're going to run out of stock sometimes?
Only if people buy too much.
Not a bad problem to have. Quick other points, why you like MIE Trak so much?
I like MIE Trak because basically we wouldn't be where we were today if we didn't have that software.